All right, here we go. Divisional weekend. 8 teams left. Exciting weekend of playoff football, which some incorrectly call the most exciting weekend in football. I don't know why some people call it that, but whatever, it's exciting. You got 8 teams left. You got your 2 number 1 seeds. You got your 2 number 2 seeds. And then you got a couple other teams looking to move on. We got 2 games Saturday. The first game Saturday afternoon, the Rams are at Green Bay. Rams took care of the Seahawks last week. And actually, you know, they had the backup Wolford in there. And then he got hurt, and then Goff came in. And it was almost like, oh, like, now the Rams have a chance. Like, you know, it was one of those weird situations. And, of course, you know, they were able to run the ball with Cam Akers, and the defense stepped up. And I don't know what happened to Seattle's offense the last month of the season, but man, they just fizzled out big time. So I was a little surprised at what happened there. And of course, I mean, even the Rams did put up 30 points. I mean, 7 came out of defensive touchdown, but still, you got to be impressed with the Rams though. And listen, they're using the old playoff formula now. You know, run the ball, play defense, and you know they've got a great defense. And they've been running the ball well, and you know that when you can do that, it gives you a chance. Now again, Green Bay is rested. You got Aaron Rodgers on a mission. That offense is unstoppable. It's going to be a tall order. I mean, can they do it? Sure, but you know, I think again, you know, you're going to run into a situation where, listen, the Rams are going to need a defensive score to win the game. I mean, that they're going to need, because the Packers are going to put up points in one way or the other. So, you know, it's a tough matchup. They have a chance because they're playing defense well and because they can run the ball. But I think in the end of the day, a rested Green Bay team in Lambeau, even without fans, going to be too much for the Rams to handle. So I'll take Green Bay. And then Saturday night, you're going to get the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. You're going to get snow, a couple of inches, but you know enough to affect the game possibly. The Bills, you know, it was a little tighter than you would have liked last week against the Colts. And of course, the Ravens and Lamar Jackson finally break through. Lamar Jackson getting a postseason win, but. And listen, on paper, you know, this should be a good matchup, but you just don't like all the intangibles that are looking at Baltimore right now. I mean, all these other things seem to favor Buffalo. I mean, obviously they're home. You know, they've got the better offense, and you know, this whole Lamar Jackson has never played in snow. You know, normally that's not a thing, but the problem with Lamar is if Lamar gets uncomfortable, then that's going to be a problem. For the Ravens. You know, the Bills are an explosive offense. You know, they scored 27 last week, so maybe a little less than you'd expect. But you know, Josh Allen beats the blitz better than anybody else, and the Ravens like the blitz. So you know, it is what it is. I mean, the matchup in the intangibles favor Buffalo heavily. Now listen, could this be where Lamar makes a statement, and you know, maybe this is the year he puts on a run? I don't know, but again, I think the Buffalo's got better weapons on offense. You know, the Ravens defense is okay, but it's not great. And I don't think it's going to be enough. I just don't think the Ravens have enough. And again, if Lamar gets thrown off by the weather, then they're in a lot of trouble. Is all I'm going to say about that. I'll take the Bills to win the game, but again, you know, for playoff fantasy, you're just hoping for pinball games, and hopefully you get one here. But I'll take the Bills. And then Sunday afternoon, the first game, you get Cleveland and Kansas City. The Browns with an unbelievable win in Pittsburgh. Really a dream win, especially the way that game started. I know it got a little tight there late as the Steelers made a comeback, but for them to go into Pittsburgh, their most hated rival, who's tortured them for years, and come out with that kind of win. I mean, and literally from the first play, like it must have been very surreal for Cleveland fans. They were able to take care of business. And listen, I mean, the Browns can score points. And they can run the ball, and they can play defense. So, they have the elements to give them a chance. Now, listen, Kansas City is the champs. They got the best quarterback in Mahomes, blah, blah, blah. They're rested. I mean, let's see what happens. Again, anybody can win any of these games from here on out, but I think, and listen, the Chiefs haven't looked amazing or like the old Chiefs the last couple of weeks, but I think they find a way to win this game. I think they're going to have fans there. Again, I don't know how much of an impact that's really going to have, but again, the rest is big. The Chiefs are obviously explosive on offense, but again, with these games, when you're the underdog, you gotta make a big defensive play early. You got to knock the other team off their game and let them know that this is going to be a dogfight. If you get behind early as an underdog, you're just not coming back. It's not happening. Again, I mean, look at Cleveland last week. They jumped all over Pittsburgh, and they were able to ride it to a win. So again, these teams all got to do that if they're the underdog this week. Because it's gonna be tall order. Is all I'm saying. I'll take the Chiefs. And then your last game of the weekend, the late Sunday game. Tampa Bay is at New Orleans. Brady versus Breeze. The two oldest quarterbacks ever to play each other ever, I guess. And this is a tricky game. This is Mike Evans has struggled against the Saints defensive backs. I think he had a good game one of the games this year, but listen, the Saints have beaten the Buccaneers twice. But they didn't look overly impressive against the Bears last week. They let the Bears hang around in that game when the Bears were really doing nothing. And I know they probably should have another touchdown there at the end to make the score look a little bit better, but whatever. I mean, the point is that this game is a toss-up, and the quarterback play is what it's going to come down to. Both guys have weapons at their disposal. Defenses are even for the most part. And again, New Orleans has beaten Tampa twice, and it is always, it's hard to beat them 3 times, even though I think, teams are like 14-7 when they beat the team, when they play the team the 3rd time after beating them twice. So, I'm not sure how much that holds, but, listen, this is going to be a tough game. I'm going to take New Orleans, and I know it's super weak that I'm picking all the favorites, but, I just think that the Saints' defense is going to be able to slow down Tampa, because Tampa can't run the ball. I mean, I know Fournette, they got Fournette, and he's, he's had some flashes here and there, but, the last time these guys played, I think they set the record for the fewest attempts since like the 1920s. So, I think Tampa's inconsistency running the ball is going to hurt because, again, the Saints D-backs have been able to shut down Tampa's receivers in recent games. And I just think they find a way to pull it out. But you never know with Brady. You never know. But I'll take New Orleans, but this game's a toss-up. So there you go. That was a quick one, obviously, because we only got 4 games left. We'll see you can get these wins here and head to the championship games next week, conference championship games. So we'll watch it, and then there you go. Divisional playoffs.